Good morning, South End Neighborhood Church. How's everyone doing today? Okay, good. I'm good too, thank you. Um, Basically, I wanted to take some time out of today's service to speak on the emotional and financial support that this church has given me. And also give updates on my first year of college now that I'm moving back into college next week. Uh, Update over my summer and basically share some thoughts and some feelings that I think are really sincere and definitely directed towards all of you guys. Um, so as you know, Pastor Jose is my father, and I am the oldest of the pastoral family. And being the oldest son in the family comes with a lot of responsibilities, as all you guys can imagine. And one of them meant being the first to go to college. Um, and being the first to go to college, being a person to go to college in general is an incredibly important moment in anyone's life, especially mine. And I definitely want to speak on how my first year went, how I felt, and how this church really helped me settle in. So if you guys don't know, I graduated from an old boys school in West Roxbury, a private old boys school. My graduating class was made up of 60 other boys, and going to a college the following summer, like Tufts University in Medford, meant a lot of change. So coming from a graduating class of 60 kids and then entering to college with a new freshman class of over 2,000 individuals definitely was a lot of change for me. It definitely meant a lot of new faces, a lot of different people, and a lot of different things to explore in terms of my individuality, my interests, both academically and extracurricularly. So I moved in the second to last week in August. I started early because I decided to immerse myself early in my first year with a pre-orientation program. And that program lasted about a week. I moved in, my family helped me move in the day of the pre-orientation. I met my two other roommates because roommate selection that year was random. So I got two roommates that year. So we were a triple. Both my roommates during the first year were from New York. So it was definitely interesting comparing New York and Boston, especially the sports dynamics. It was definitely a very interesting atmosphere. Um, but I entered to TAS with the goal of both majoring in economics and international relations, and I immediately immersed myself within those classes and tried to set myself early in terms of those pathways. So both my classes for econ and international relations were huge classes. They were lectures. My classes consisted of over 200 students, which is definitely different from high school. High school normally for me was 13 to 12 kids. So going to classes regularly with over 200 kids was definitely different. With only one teacher, that was definitely a different dynamic. Um, so I was definitely nervous as to how I would take the new atmosphere, how I would adjust to the new teaching styles. And I'll be honest, I think it was very hard experience within the first month to get used to both living on campus and getting adjusted to academic life. I definitely seek the help of my family during the first month. Um, Trying to make new friends, trying to really get adjusted to my rotating schedules, and finding space and time for my interests, my extracurricular activities. So I was definitely coming to my family, coming to support my parents, whether it was over the phone, whether it was returning home for dinner, just to talk things out, get advice from them. And one of the most powerful things my parents shared with me was just all the hard work that I, with the support of both churches and the guidance of God, um, really set me to where I am today. Um, well, I can be thankful for all the things I've done for myself to get into position to go to college, get in position to go to a good college like Tufts University. They reminded me of the support everyone else gave me the support that God especially gave me. And so within the first few months of college, there was a lot of reflection, a lot of time to myself just to think about why I'm here and what I have left to do. Um, on top of trying to figure out all those things came the financial aspect of going to college. Going to a private institution meant that there was a lot of financial burden on myself and my family. And coming from a big family, any financial cost, any financial burden that fell on us, fell on everyone because we're such a big family. There's so much that each of us have to pay for and cater to. And adding college to my list of needs was definitely a huge, huge expense. So I also not only was trying to worry about how I would do myself, how I felt myself during college, but also having to appreciate the fact that I am able to go to college, that my parents with the collective resources of different avenues, how those are helping me to be there today too. Um, and while I had some self-doubt during my first year of college, especially with my majors, I entered with majoring in econ and international relations. I quickly changed my major from international relations to Spanish after I realized I didn't want to pursue a career in politics and international politics. Um, there came self-doubt as to my purpose in life. And again, my parents were there for me. They reminded me that I'm here for a reason. God has a plan for me. We had a lot of conversations revolving the rest of my life, my passions, my goals. They reminded me of the fact that I owe it to myself to make the most of my opportunity, to not worry too much about the financial side of college and just focus on myself. Um, and we had very deep conversations about that, about being in the moment and not trying to worry too much about the rest of the future, just trying to take each day one by one. And I thankfully was able to do that with the support of my family, with the support of both these churches, because they completely took care of the financial load off of me. I received a scholarship from this church last summer, and that helped a lot. Honestly, there on top of going to college, going to class, there are the books you have to pay. There are the cost of living. For Tufts, you have to live on campus for your first 2 years, so you have to pay to room on board. And then there's also food, clothes, a lot of new supplies, and the church scholarship took care of the majority of those costs for me. And working over the summer and helping my parents out with the rest of the money, we were able to just pay for classes and for room on board. So collectively, that took care of all of that. And after being reminded of all the support that this church has given me, being reminded of all the support that my family gives to me, I was able to reassess myself, reflect, and be okay with moving forward. So the rest of the year was definitely very, very eventful. I found a balance between my academic life, my social life, and my religious life. So I was coming to church every other Sunday whenever I could, listen to the Word of God, participate in worship, pray, be thankful, visit, and reconnect with old faces. And that was definitely really important. I definitely focused on doing that second semester because after my first semester of finding myself, second semester was me moving forward, being okay with everything. So just reconnecting with God, coming every Sunday was definitely a very important milestone, and seeing their faces, seeing the faces of all the members of the Spanish congregation really meant a lot, to the point where I was really happy second semester. I found my friend group. I decided to commit myself to econ and Spanish. I decided to go out and explore different avenues. I was able to participate in affinity groups, and also at the same time as taking all these new classes, work three different jobs. I worked 3 different jobs during the second semester of college, on top of 5 classes at school, because again, financial burden, taking care of everything. I worked as a salesperson, I worked as a tutor, and I also worked at a nonprofit as a program manager. So those 3 things plus classes definitely took a toll on me, but I felt like I needed to do that to, of course, support my family, support my community, and just take care of all the financial load. And while those very stressful at times, I found a balance in all of that. Found room for God as well. And my second semester ended pretty great. It ended in May. I was able to share an entire year with different friends, make connections with different teachers, explore myself and find more things about myself that I didn't know I liked. And that truly meant a lot. Um, and my first year, well, again, at the very beginning was full of self-doubt, was full of change, really ended on a positive note. And I wanted to thank the church specifically, because the financial side of college, the financial side of anything is definitely very taxing emotionally. And this church really heavily supported me in that way. So again, thank you for that. Thank you for all of you guys. Thank you for all the support, not only financially, but also emotionally. Just being able to reconnect with you guys in the year really meant a lot. So this summer, again, with the mindset of helping my family out, I continued to work. So I worked full time at Alpha Immigrant Center, which is a nonprofit located just 10 minutes away. And it focuses on immigration reform and immigrant advocacy. I've been working with this nonprofit for about 3 years, always during the spring and always during the summer. And this year, me alongside with one of my other peers were promoted to the lead program managers. That meant a full-time job. That meant not only being in charge of a youth program of kids in high school and college, but also learning more about the organization and all the things that they do. So I spent half the summer working with the youth program of the organization. The program consisted of 20 youth, again, the majority from high school, and all of them were recently arrived immigrants. A lot of them came a couple of weeks prior to the program starting. A couple of them came just a year before. All of them only knew Spanish. All of them hardly had any family here. And while I was able to make connections with them, I also was able to find a little bit about myself as well, considering I am an immigrant too. And this summer was a 6-week program. I was able to share so much with them. We were able to do a lot of community support, and we were able to go into the community, advocate on behalf of all the immigrants in our community. We were able to provide clinics, citizenship services, any types of legal services for free for our immigrant communities. And being head of that and helping the younger generation realize the importance and significance of that work meant a lot. And we ended a couple weeks ago, and I'm still working full time in that organization. I'm doing a lot more other things in terms of community organizing. All of that was to keep myself busy, to get enough money this summer to take way more off my parents' plate in terms of financially. I took on the responsibility of paying a good portion of my bill this year. And there's still a lot to pay for. There's still food and there's still books. But I'm thankful because I was presented with that opportunity to help my parents out. They, of course, are always here to help me, as are you guys. But I really, really kept myself busy this summer. I only took one vacation day this summer. That way I could pay my bill early and on time to not worry about it for the rest of the year. Then there's still some more expenses, but I move in next Sunday. We won't have service next Sunday. I moved in with a new roommate, a roommate who became my best friend last year. And I'm really excited. I'm really thankful just to be able to start a second year of college and get one step closer to finishing. And again, I just wanted to thank all of you guys, thank my parents especially for their continued support, spiritually, morally, financially, especially. And just wanted to give you guys that quick update over myself, over my state of being. I'm definitely a lot better this summer emotionally than I was last summer. And I definitely have thank you guys for all of that, for that stability and security. So thank you for giving me that time today to just give that brief summary, share some words, and express my gratitude towards all of you guys. Thank you.